number 2 in season 14, we are in Santiago. Jaco Tigrana is on pole from Ravo and Sebastiano Campo. Then it's UK Ball and Pastor Maldonado. Then it's Enoch Huey and MF1 World. Leo is 8th with last time out race winner in 9th. It's Inet Fabness. Then it's Daniel Bogdasaro, Yuki Suo, and Daph Sanchez. 13th is Mahavir Raguna. Then 14th, Theodore Schumacher. Then it's Mielrez, Wallace Leclerc, Marcus Nelson, Salas Kynes, Akari, Bob, David Camino, and JD Venter. After the absolute pure chaos we saw last time out in Jeddah, Santiago has a lot to live up to. As all 5 lights go on and we go green for the Santiago E-Prix. And what a start from Ravo off the line. Already drawing level with Jaco Tigrana. He's going to have the inside line going into turn 1. So Ravo might take the lead here. He does take the lead very wide from Sebo Campo, who drops down to P5. Tigranas looks for the inside line coming through turn 2, not quite close enough. We'll have another shot going through turn number 3. One of the more treacherous turns on the stretch. UK Ball up into P3 already, who is getting the drop from Ravo down the inside and out of the race. Has gone UK Ball. Virtual safety car has been called out and UK Ball out. It was an audacious move from Tigranas that just didn't work out, and it took out UK Ball there. Virtual safety car called. JD Venter, biggest mover from 22nd to 16th. But it's Ravo from Tigranas from Maldonado for Campo. Leo in P5, once again following a guy who won a race. Both Pinnacle drivers still yet to take home a gold in this championship. We go racing again. We barrel down towards the final sector on board with Leo. Not quite close enough to make any moves as the top 10. But meanwhile, looking through the midfield, they are still pretty much single file. The other Pinnacle car of Akari currently down in 21st place in the number 10 car. Pinnacle formerly E-Prix hopefully can. The question on the lips of Pinnacle is, can they get something else out of this season? Last season looked to be a good step in the right direction, and another step is being taken by Leo, who is going to send it down the inside coming through turn number 1, and he is going to take P4, and on the back of Maldonado, he's going to get DRS. So will Maldonado. Tigranas will not. So Jaco Tigrana is under threat. It's the pole sitter. He's not that much under threat anymore. He's got quite the straight line speed, but somehow Leo not quite trying to take any kind of positions here. In the top guys, very cautious. Suo has been passed by Theodore Schumacher. They're almost into the wall. JD Venter up into 13th. His teammate dropping down to 15th place. Akari has found his way up into 20th position, fighting with Marcus Nelson. They went side by side through the chicane, and that is 20th place for Akari. We take a look at the castle section then with that F1 World. Currently in 8th place, one of the 4 hard tire runners. And you know how it is with the hard tires. There's 5 drivers actually who are on the hards. Leclerc up into the 14th as his teammate sending it on. Yuki Suo almost hits the back of Theodore Schumacher. Gets the car stopped in time, and that'll be 11th place for the South African 23 car. That was very close for JD Venter. I'm actually winded from watching that. Theodore Schumacher, can he find an answer here? That's very wide from Wallace Leclerc. Maybe he's looking for some kind of overtake. He's going to try and get past Yuki Suo or Bob, because he's lost out here. Bob pulls out and forces Leclerc to the outside to try and have his own chance of getting past Suo. Not quite close enough to do it. Look at that. Leo dropping down. Ocampo currently in 4th. With Enoch Huey alongside him. Enoch Huey ahead, just about forcing him to a point where it's just about reasonable. He did the Hong Kong driver. Maldonado, by the way, up in 3rd place, and we've got a VSC. And the driver who is out. Ravo's out! Ravo out! We believe, no it's not, it is not. It is Marcus Nelson. Sorry guys. You thought it was the race winner. The race leader rather. It is not. It is the number 13. And the 2 formerly Monopoly champions who started this race both out. With now the most experienced driver on the field, Bravo, who has started every single race in this championship, currently leading the field. When you look at Season 1 and you look at Season 14, there are only 3 names on the grid who are still there. And 2 of those names have left momentarily. They're still racing, mind you. Kyne's currently bringing up the rear of the field as into the pits comes Ravo. So I was wrong in saying that he was out, but I was right in saying that he was going to come in. Marnado and Nguyen and Leo in. So Tijuana's leading the way. These soft tyres have not really gone as far as drivers could have wanted. There is a chance of a 3-stop, maybe even a 4-stop, if you're really that ambitious. It's Tigranes from Ocampo, from Babnas, from MF11, from Bogdasarov. MF11, they're just being passed by the Romanian ahead of him. And Lagunathan there, that was the Red Bull FE car trying to take a position, and someone's gone off ahead. Babnas swerves into the wall, and out of the race has gone Daniel Bogdasarov into the wall there, and that is the front tyre of the Andretti car bouncing around. I believe it could have been his teammate or the race leader. It was the race leader who incurred the first yellow flag, then it was Babnas, and then it was Bogdasarov, who is currently out of the race. And if you're not going to come into the pits at the end of this lap, you're going to be in quite a spot of trouble. Because look at those softs, 21% going down the hill. We go racing again, so the top 5 likely to pit. Lagunathan also probably gonna pit. Chiklerk might pit, he doesn't really have to. He will be good for another lap. The hard tire runners are actually all fine to go. Akari definitely needs to pit, so the top 10 definitely gonna see some changes. Bravo catching up to the back of Carlos Kynes. He's 3 seconds off as into the lead as Tigranes and Babnet just both pit. Sebo Campo leads the way from MF1 Rod. And Milrez. Camino with the fastest second sector of anyone. There is David Camino. By the way, off the back of the field. So not sure what's happened with him. Top 3 drivers all on the hard tyres. They will be under threat from the drivers who are following them. Theodore Schumacher with the fastest third sector of anyone. And that seemed to be very close between those guys coming out of the pit. This is really the fight for 9th. The fight for 9th is the real fight that you can see. It's currently being headed by Daf Sanchez, but Leo looks to try and take a position away from that Rodent Toyota driver as we come through turn number 3 here in Santiago. And he's just not close enough to try and take that position. Leo, however, is trying to look for another way to get past. He's behind it, Babin's right on his tail with that Hyperdrive 14 car. Sends it down the inside. And Babinus up into P10. He was fighting for a seat last season. And now he's fighting to extend the championship lead that has only just emerged. As we are only in race number 2. Down the inside again goes Ryan Babinus. Where is he pulling these moves out of? Somebody tell me where he's pulling these moves out of. He's up into P9 as the race leaders have come in. That's MF11 in the pits. That's Sebo Campo in the pits, but Milrez has stayed out. Ravo leads, Milrez second, Maldonado third, and Anok Huey is fourth from JD Venter and Jaco Tigranes. That is your top 6 at half race distance. Babinus getting past Ocampo and Sanchez there. Ocampo's just come out of the pits and he is still fighting for position. He's got the freshest softs of this trio currently fighting over P7. Babinus pulls out to the inside line. He's got more momentum than Ocampo and he does take that 7th place away. And it's a virtual safety car pass from Maldonado out, and that is JD Venter who is spinning. JD Venter spinning. I think he tangled with that stricken Jaguar car as it was going off of the track, bouncing off the walls. taking a look at Ravo's tires compared to Milres, they could both theoretically come into the pits here. Milres and Renault Edams could be on for a very good finish in round 2 in season 14. It's all going to come down to once the checkered flag falls and if anyone else has penalties. But if not, this could be very good for that number 6 car. The 6th, which was once run by Anabaminis. But, oh, Milres does pit, so that's going to allow JD Venter to go up into P2. So on lap 7 of 12, hard tires now no longer in use. Basically, you're only allowed to start on them. Leo coming in for a second stop. So Pinnacle Formula E team wanting to take some extra precautions in case they saw any vibrations in the tires. And at Babiness hounding the back of Sebo Campo still looking to try and get a little closer. The two Rodent Toyotas, by the way, currently running 7th and 8th. Yuki Tsuo seems to be the fastest car as well as Leclerc is out. Slalom's Leclerc in the wall for the Mercedes EQ Formula E team. Whatever they decided to call themselves on their return, I don't fucking care anymore. So, what could basically happen here? Here are the race leaders. Ravo and JD Venter, the two V's on this timing tower. They're coming now through the final few bends, so they couldn't benefit if they were to try and pit on this lap. Just could Venter pit on this lap realistically? Yeah, he's on 39% tire. Well, Ravo last time we saw he was on 39. He's on 38 now. I think he might come in. Let's stay on board with the Italian. And he does dive into the pits. The race leader and the number 7 on lap 7 comes into the pits and hits the wall. A lot cleaner from JD Venter though. Don't really know what really happened there. It's a cause Ravo hitting the wall, but he did. And David Camino right ahead of these guys. He's gonna peel in, turn here, doesn't hit the wall. So Campo leading the way from Jaco Tigranes and Iron at Babinas. Babinas, he's far off the back of Sebo Campo now. Don't know how he's managed that, but Ocampo will fall to the checkered flag. He leads the way, but he is likely to make another pit stop considering how short the tire life is for these tires. Look at how much weaving Tigranes had to do just to keep that car pointing in a straight line. And oh, out of the race, Yuki Tsuo. And Tsuo is out. It's a virtual safety car due to tire problems with that Rodent Toyota car. Not a lot of grip out there if you haven't picked yet. As we go on board with Milres in the 6th, going through the castle section. Virtual safety car ending. Go green again. Keep an eye on that mini-map. I understand that this is being exported in 480p, which is standard definition. So there are some things that you won't be able to see as interprets them Sebo Campo. But on the mini-map, you can see quite a lot of good things. And out of the race is gone. Leo as well. Leo out. Where is that Pinnacle car? We don't see it. That Pinnacle car has gone over the barriers. And we've got 3 laps to go. The top guys have all come into the pits. That's the top brass. And it is currently Ravo from Ocampo, from Milres, from Tigranes, Sebo Campo, and Andretti Autosport have possibly come up with the greatest strategy decision ever because they don't have to pit again. Ravo, let's take a look at the steering wheel. He might have to come into the pits again, maybe on lap 11. But for Sebo Campo, all he has to do is hold on to this second place, stay behind, keep Milres behind as JD Venter up into 4th place there, and he can win this race. He can win the Santiago E-Prix. JD Venter on the back of Milres, trying to get ahead of the Swedish driver. in the number 6 car. And the sky does look to be getting quite a little bit darker with 3 to the checkered flag. There is a chance that we have rain today. And Tigranas, he's gotten past the JD Venter here. He could get past Milrez here. Got the inside line on both drivers. He's going to send it and he's going to take back 4th position. And Sebo Campo alongside Ravo. He could be the Philippine driver could be able to get past the Italian ahead of him. Let's see how it's going to go. The rain has started falling. Never mind. They're coming in side by side into the pits. Side by side, intermediate tires. You can see going on to some of these cars. But further back, is anyone in a real sort of peril? They can't come in yet. No, they aren't. But everyone in the pits so far. Usually in the pit lane, we have a shuffling of the order, and we do! We have a new race leader with 2 laps to go. Sebo Campo in the 76, leading away from Ravo and Jaco Tigranas. Then it's JD Venter, Milrez, MF1 World, Iron and Habitus, Dav Sanchez, Mahavi Ragunathan, Bob, Theodore Schumacher, Camino, Inokui, Kynes and Akari. That is your 15 runners left in this race. And Sebo Campo and Team DS Andretti. Well, they needed to come into the pits, so they did their absolute damnedest to make sure they lost as little time as possible. And they made it work. They're currently leading this race, but it's only a half a second between them. Ravo still on the back of that DS Andretti car. To climb up the hill now. Andretti were actually meant to have a different livery, but that livery never came in. So they're still running their season 13 appearance. I have to say it is a very good looking car. So going down the hill. Going through the 3rd sector now to try and stop the penultimate lap. And there are a few good opportunities to make an overtake. But for Ravo, all he can really do is hang to the back of that Andretti and close the gap as much as he can. He has more EOS to deploy than the DS Andretti ahead of him. I keep on thinking it's an Amlin Andretti. Will he pull alongside the gap? No, 2 tenths, 2.4, 2.2. He's going side by side through turn 1. They force each other offline. And coming through turn number 2, Ravo and Sebo Campo side by side is behind them. JD Venter up into P3. Ravo retakes the lead of the Santiago E-Prix. But can Sebo Campo come back? He does come back at him. Tries to send it down the inside. Not quite close enough. The gap only an entire tenth of a second between these two brilliant drivers. And now through 4 and 5. Sorry, 5 and 6. And now through turn number 7 with Sebo Campo. He's currently still on the back of Ravo. This is going to go right to the line. Camino and Yui fighting behind these guys, but with Ravo now, all he can do is defend. Comparing ERS deploys, Ravo didn't actually use too much of his ERS going before the overtake. He just went up to the back of him, drafted him, and got past JD Venter now trying to attack Sebo Campo here. It's going to be very close between these two. Ocampo, he had quite the strategic decision, but it just hasn't worked out for the number 76 car. So on to the final lap as the car ahead Ravo starts. JD Venter getting past Sebo Campo down the straight. And now the race begins to the line for the race win. Sebo Campo dropped off 2 whole seconds after he got past. And JD Venter currently 1.5 seconds off the back. He's been setting very quick. He's had a very quick pace throughout this race so far. He's 1.6 seconds off the back of Ravo. Can he close that gap? Because if he can, it would come down to the start-finish straight. It would be a drag race down to the line because there is no real other opportunity for him to make any sort of overtake. JD Venter setting a fastest first sector of anyone. He's really honing the hyperdrive car ahead of him. The gap, 7 tenths of a second. He might be able to do this. South Africa could see themselves with a race win before we even reach the South African E-Prix in East London. 6 tenths of a second between the race leaders. 6.8. The gap stabilizing at around 7 to 6 tenths of a second. Ravo actually putting a little bit of distance between them. So we go downhill, coming through the final sector here in Santiago. Ravo in the number 7 car for Hyperdrive Racing. He's still got JD Venter right behind him. We go on to the main straight now. It's gonna be a drag race to the finish line between JD Venter and Ravo. And coming to the line, who's it gonna be? And at the line, Ravo wins the Santiago E-Prix. JD Venter second, 1/10 of a second. That was all in it. Then it's Ocampo, Tigranes, Milres, Babinas. As we see, Seb Ocampo try and pull off what JD Venter couldn't. Can he do it for P13? Across the line they go. And it will not be 13th for him. And this is the podium then for the Santiago E-Prix. My oh my, what a finish, what a finish. It's a Ravo from JD Venter and Sebo Campo, currently the only man to be on the podium in the first 2 races combined. Then it's Jackie Tigranes, Milres and Iron Babness. Then it's Dak Sanchez, MF1 World, your top 8. Then it's Mahavir Gunfin, Bob, Theodore Schumacher, Pinocchio, Solis Khan, David Cameron and Akari, your finishers. Your non-finishers were Leos, Yuki Suo, Lawrence Leclerc, Pastor Maldonado, Daniel Bogdasarov, Marcus Nelson, and UK Hall. In the driver's standings, Sebo Campo and Iron Babness are tied on 33 points from JD Venter, who is on 27 points. Then it's Ravo, Solis Kynes, Mahavir Gunathan, Jackie Tigranes, Milres tied with Pastor Maldonado. Then it's Yuki Suo, MF1 World and Lawrence Leclerc both tied on 4 points. Then it's David Cameron, Bob of the top 15 who have scored points. The rest of the drivers, UK Ball, Daniel Bogdasarov, Marcus Nelson, and Okiri, Taylor Schumacher, and the 2 Pinnacle cars still yet to score. In the constructors' standings, after that most interesting race, Hyperdrive Racing lead the way on 58 points from DS Andretti on 33, but it's Mercedes FE team on 31 points, Jaguar on 26 points, then it's Red Bull Formula E team on 14. Then it's Rodin Toyota on 13 points, 1 point. In back you'll find Lamborghini Mako, that's Renault Edams on 11 points. Skoda Volkswagen on 4 points, Braun Honda Grand Prix on 2 points, and Pinnacle Formula E team still yet to score. We'll see you guys next time then for the Monte Carlo E-Prix.